Aloha, friends and neighbors. Welcome to program 867. Rollin Frost here, Kona astrologer. I've got Edward Snowden's chart. Wow, what a wild ride, huh? Hope you've learned something about solar returns. It all started, if you might remember, was 666. And that's when all this information came out. And I was talking about poisoned letters. And that's what Edward Snowden brought us. And wow, the astrology of it has been something else. Neptune at the top of the chart, squaring the USA rising sign. And out came these kind of rather stinky secrets. It's kind of scary, you know. Found out that these organizations, FBI, CIA, NSA, they were after John Lennon. Makes you wonder, you know, when they went after the people at Berkeley, and they went after. It seems like they are the tools of political leaders, dark black tools. Anyway, 666 turned out to be the CIA, FBI, NSA, huh? And Edward Snowden turned out to be Mercury. Now, we knew he was Mercury just from looking at him, huh? Wait till you see his chart. Pure Mercury. Gemini rising with Mercury right on the rising sign. And I've got his solar return, too. Remember, in the country, in the USA government's solar return, Mercury opposed the rising sign. You're stuck with battling Mercury. And when you look at Edward Snowden's solar return, his birthday actually happened in Hong Kong. Well, it just shouts, hey, I need some help here. And solar returns really work. So I invite you to do some work with me. I can calculate them for you on the phone and give you some heads up. And I can do reports for you on DVDs very cheaply. You know, 20, 30 bucks, something like that, on your solar return. And consult with you in case you want to move your location and change the solar return. Enough on that. I'm going to do some weather stuff for you. I haven't seen Neptune on Kauai yet, but certainly the East Coast, the New York, Washington area is being flooded as predicted. The heat wave, oh boy, Mars is conjuncting Jupiter, more on that. So I went through all of the full moon, new moon, quarters and thirds here for Hawaii, and I want to run those by you. No hurricanes, no biggies in the rest of the year, I'm happy to tell you. So there are some lists of minor stuff, wind and rain. Well, I want to get at, the app, Sky Mirror Astrology app, available for $5, I think, at the App Store, has been improved. The owner of it is constantly improving it, and it's improved a lot. And in fact, now on that app, you can get the Sky Mirror from the show. And then he went, because he had access to that, I gave him access, he put it on Twitter and Facebook. So I think you can Twitter and Facebook Sky Mirror Astrology, and you'll get the Sky Mirror for the week. And, you know, the whole thing is blossoming out in a wonderful way, thanks to Mr. Jim Knowles and his wonderful invention. A chance for you to, you know what I was thinking? Here, I got to leave you with this. When I started studying astrology, it seemed it was all about personalities and people. And, you know, I took a degree in psychology, too. I was curious about this. And modern psychology, the best they can do is extrovert, introvert, you know, different kinds of classifications that, you know, personality tests. And so, but astrology was concentrated on that, all of the books and things, and it's very hard to do because people are very tricky. A lot of them lie, and a lot of them made up their identities. The more Neptuned out they are, the more movie star identity they have. So, you know, it's really hard to, you can have a chart here in front of you that's very accurate and tell somebody blah blah blah, and you'll say, oh no, that's not me. Anyway, the Sky Mirror Astrology app isn't about that. It's not about natal charts, and it's not about analyzing people. I mean, it's about here and now, and it's about affecting reality and leaving the house charts and driving and checking things out. When everybody's squabbling, you can look at your app and see where Mars is. There's this immediate contact between you and the sky, and that's what Rinpoche told me. Look inside, look outside, look at the chart. This is a true enlightenment tool. It's not like something to try to figure out the people around you. That kind of astrology, well, it works, but it's difficult, and it's, a lot of smoke and mirrors. But this, to look at now and see what's going on around you, what's going on inside your head, what's going on out there. That's a shortcut to Aquarian enlightenment. That's the way astrology should be used. So, I'm just still tickled to death about the app and the way it's improving. I have time, I'll show you a little bit. Check it out. It's a wonderful thing. Hey, let's go do the Sky Mirror before I get too involved in something else. And then I'm going to show you Edward Snowden's chart. Wow, what a hero. I'm curious. I want to see if they're going to grab him and stick him in a cell or something, or whether he's going to remain free. And so, what a hero. Mercury, pure Mercury, the messenger, of the gods. That's who Edward Snowden is. If Obama has any, coyotes they call him or whatever, he'll pardon that man and keep these dreadful organizations, these killer organizations, FBI, CIA, NSA, DEA, CPS, keep these guys off him, keep him free. Good for you, Edward. All right, let's go do the Sky Mirror, see what's coming up for you in the next couple of weekends, and get back to your own world. Inside, outside, look at the chart. That's the way to learn astrology. I mean, just getting in the car and going on a trip, I checked the chart. Yesterday I went to the store, Mars was opposed, so I waited till Mars was 5 degrees below the descendant, and it wasn't opposing me anymore. I didn't want to go fight with Mars. And while I was waiting, all of the young guys around me were real fighty. Anyway, I waited. I went to the store after 5 degrees. I didn't see any trouble with Mars. Mars was there, but he wasn't opposing me. It wasn't getting in my way. So I avoided a little problem there. But every time I go out, every time I start something now, I'm cognizant of even just a little thing. I just started setting up the camera, and things weren't quite right, so I had to stop. I said, I started on a bad chart. I'm going to go back, stop, start again. Of course, Mercury's retrograde, but nevertheless, just the ability to look at now and see where things are and get an example of reality in your outside and your inside by looking at the reality in the sky. That's what this is all about. Come on, let's go do the Sky Mirror. Here we are. Sky Mirror for the week starting July 12th and going through the middle of July. I was looking for a way to describe this time, and I had a lot of strange stuff, but now it just popped up turbulent times. Turbulence is when the wind isn't smooth, the water isn't smooth. And man, this is an unsmooth time. You could even have trouble thinking thoughts at times here with the planets set up as they are. And there's some pretty strange stuff going on. Take a look at it. First of all, here's another way to see it in my ephemeris. And I marked this long ago. Here's the week in July 2013 when I get circles like this and reds and things like, there are things going on here. What's going on? Well, Saturn stationed 5-6 days ago for you. And Saturn makes it cold and scary. And he always kills by crushing deaths, where big, huge things fall on you. And when I see Saturn stationing, you know, he's 9 days off, the Uranus station is quakiness and turbulence, things that go around and things that suddenly change. Saturn and Uranus, bad combination. Big buildings fall down on people and kill them. And so you're already in the crushing time, and the Saturn and the sober time, and the judges are saying this and that, running your life. Here comes the revolutionary time up ahead on the 17th, when Uranus stops and things are going to get shaky. Now Mercury turns out to stop 3 days later in exact square to Uranus. Turbulent times. Wow, we'll be lucky if any of our communication transportation systems work properly. Remember now, when Uranus is doing stuff, it's the connections. It's your battery connections. It's other connections, okay? Yeah, and Mercury, well, the messenger, indeed. Now he'll be back to 12 degrees in about 10 days from you. And the two guys together, they could make for a lot of tornadoes, hurricane-like winds, strange quaky things. It's a week of strange interruptions. What's that? Is that a click on my telephone? Is the CIA listening to me now? The judge okayed it? Ugh. Saturn makes things cold. Here's the other thing. Jupiter and Mars getting together. Look at that. Mars goes into Cancer in a few days from where you're at and moves up there, hits 6 degrees of Cancer where Jupiter is. Now, Jupiter makes things larger. What do you make larger? Heat. This heat thing has just started, folks. Yes. Okay. Well, let's get to the job at hand. We got a pattern of planets here. The judge is still helping the Neptune guys, and now Jupiter, the lawyers, are in cahoots with them, and look out, they're going to give away the fish and the ocean and a whole bunch of stuff, and they're wanting to please the special interest Neptune. Enough said of that. This is not a good trine. I see this as a rather evil grand trine, Saturn and Jupiter and Neptune. They sure don't care about it, Uranus, although the president's trying to do some environmental work. So we got this pattern. And what happens is the moon goes all the way around in 1 month. And here it is out here. And these dates are when the moon goes through that part of the sky. And here's the little angles they make to these various players on the stage, the planets. So if the moon is opposing Neptune, you know, doggone, we don't like all this Neptune stuff. No, we don't like it. And that's where it's at Thursday night. This is late. This is 9, 10, 11 o'clock Thursday night on 7/11. Well, we don't want religious fanatics around. We don't want, special interests. I really don't want to hear any more about gay marriage and all this. They're just talking about whether Snowden's a good guy or a bad guy. Why don't they talk about the facts that he uncovered? No, it's called smoke and mirrors. And that's what our politicians, Saturn and Jupiter, are doing now. Trining Neptune. Come on, have a drink. Don't worry about it. Boo. So don't drink Thursday night, because